Today marks 100 days since Wall Street Journal reporter Evan Gershkovich was detained while reporting in Russia, charged wrongly with espionage by the Russians. To keep attention on his case, the Wall Street Journal has launched a social media blitz today calling for his release. And here's how his mother says she and her family are coping.
I rely on President Biden's promise to do whatever it takes to bring Evan back. I rely on his team, on their expertise. He's an American boy. Bringing him back, I think it's a team effort.
A mother's appeal. Joining me now is Washington bureau chief of the Wall Street Journal, Paul Beckett. Paul, it's wonderful what you and Emma Tucker, the editor-in-chief, everyone is doing. And extraordinarily, the wrapper on today's Wall Street Journal, which we showed in graphic, which is, so important. To remind people, do not forget that he's been there for 100 days, wrongly accused, and he's in a Russian prison, the same prison that used to be the KGB hellhole.
That's right, Andrea. And we appreciate all the support that people are giving us today and in the last 100 days. Our thoughts today really are with Evan and his family and his colleagues and friends. And it's a very difficult day because he has been wrongfully detained and imprisoned in that security services jail in Moscow. And we want him back as soon as we possibly can. So I'd have to say all that is tempered by the extraordinary outpouring of support that we have had, and we hope that it will continue. And we're grateful to you, to your viewers, and to everybody else who has kept his cause in the public spotlight.
We have to keep the attention on him. The Kremlin now suggesting it might be open to a possible prisoner exchange involving Evan. Those talks will not be in the public eye. The Russians don't want that, nor do the U.S., frankly. But the ambassador, Lynn Tracy, was able to see him finally for the first time since April, even though those visits are supposed to be regularly, available. So what is your hope now? Is there some hope that behind the scenes something's going on?
Well, we were encouraged that the Russians finally, and I would have to say very, very belatedly, granted him more consular access. That's something that should happen by international law, and it only happened once detainment. So we're encouraged the ambassador got in to see him. We were also encouraged that he appeared to be good health and good spirits. He's such a resilient young man that we're confident that he will stay the course. The statements from the Russians about possible prisoner swaps, I think, was a surprise to us. It contradicted what they'd said before, that they would only be interested in engaging in a prisoner swap after a verdict, which, given the system, we would expect to be a conviction some ways away. So it came as a surprise. We don't have any information on what it might mean, but obviously any sign that there might be a possible agreement here between the two governments gives us a little bit of hope, and we would encourage the U.S. government, as we have been since the start of this, to do everything that we can to resolve this and get Evan home to his family and back to the newsroom.
What do you think more broadly the impact has been of his imprisonment and this false accusation on journalism writ large, when it's critical to know what Russia is doing in the middle of this war?
It is very dispiriting to see journalism labeled as a crime. In any country. It's hard to imagine a country that, along with China, has a greater impact on the future of America than Russia right now. And if we can't get good information out of Russia, then it's very hard to predict the future of our own country. So what he was doing there as a journalist was so vital in providing accurate information about what's going on in a country that matters hugely to us. That void is really dangerous.
Well, our thanks to you, our tribute to his parents, his sister, to the whole family, to everything that you and the Wall Street Journal are doing. Thank you.